Welcome to Hometown Happenings. I'm Carol McCarthy here at the Detroit Lakes Police Station today with the Detroit Lakes new police chief, Tim Eggebraaten. And welcome to Hometown Happenings.
Thank you very much.
Well, you took over July 15th, 2011 as chief of police here at Detroit Lakes.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about what led you to becoming chief.
Well, I started here in Detroit Lakes 19 years ago, and July 1st, 1992, and you know, at that time it was I want to be the night patrolman for the rest of my career. And a little bit into that, I started teaching DARE and taught DARE for 6 years, and did the K-9 program with Quincy for a few years, and then got promoted to sergeant, and I was a sergeant for 13 years. And you know, at each progression, it's kind of funny because I have friends that joke with me because when I was that young night patrolman, this is where I want to be forever. I never want to work days. And so as time goes on and you get more experience in different areas, and so that's kind of what professionally progressed me to this level. So. All
right. So you've been here in Detroit Lakes for 19 years.
Yep.
And where did you start out?
Started out, graduated from high school in Fisher, Minnesota, the center of the universe. And then went to Moorhead State for 4 years and worked in the jail at Moorhead State, and I also worked at Concordia College, and did those two jobs simultaneously for 2 years, and working all the time, and then I worked at the jail then for 3 years. And ideally, originally my first job choice would have been Moorhead Police Department. Mm-hmm. All my friends were there, I knew everybody there, and I had never been to Detroit Lakes, and we would come by here to go to Bemidji, and we'd hit Highway 34 and go through, but never had stopped in here, and you know, even going to Moorhead State, never came here on the 4th of July or anything. And so I took the test, and at the same time I was testing all over the state, and got the job offer here, and also about 2 weeks later I got a job offer from Grand Forks and from Mankato. And I thought, I'm going to wait, you know, just to see what this is like, get a year experience, and then go work in Moorhead, my dream town. And after about a month of living here in Detroit Lakes and driving by the lake, and we were busy, you know. I started July 1st, so it was right into the fire. And that was when it took about 3 hours to get from County Road 6 and Westlake Drive up to Highway 10 on Washington Avenue. And it was solid traffic both ways, and got in a pursuit my second or third day on the job, and you know, so I was hooked right away, and I loved the community. And so Denise and I, we decided very early on that this was going to be a retirement town. All right.
I'm here today with the Chief of Police, Tim Eggebraaten.
I have a hard time. Yeah.
So are you still a sergeant? You're the chief now.
I'm the
so
chief,
that just elevates you to a higher level. You get to wear a nice white shirt.
Yeah, the white shirt that shows the stains.
And we'll talk more about some of your other duties as a chief of police now that you have been elected, well, not elected, but chosen by the city council. You appointed. You had to go through an interview process, I understand, and they selected you. And we'll talk more about your duties as chief of police and some other things that you do in the community after our break. We'll be back with more Hometown Happenings after this. Welcome back to Hometown Happenings. I'm here today at Detroit Lakes Police Department with the new Chief of Police for Detroit Lakes, Tim Eggebraaten. And Chief Eggebraaten, what does the job of a chief entail?
Well, as I'm finding out, one thing, former chief, we call him Citizen Keena. we refer to him as Citizen Keena now. He did a great job when he was the chief of police. He kind of spread out the responsibilities to all of the supervisors, and so it wasn't too much of a culture shock for me to get into this position. Right now what I'm working on is the budget, of course, and we're always, like everybody else, asked to do more with less. And so the administrative part of it is a big part, making sure we have the money, making sure our officers have the training, you know, the physical building, you know, make sure everything's up to date, and vehicles and all that stuff. So the administrative part of it is a huge aspect of it. What's nice about a town our size and a department our size, we have 14 sworn officers now, and a department our size, the chief isn't a complete administrator, just a total administrator. I went on an alarm call yesterday, and I can still get out and do stuff, covered calls while one of our other officers was in court this morning, and so there's still that aspect of it too, where you still are taking phone calls and still actually handling real live cases, and so that's fun. But the lion's share of it is going to meetings and you know, making sure the budget's there and the administrative part of it.
Mm-hmm. And you're the one that they call if the city needs to call on anybody for budgetary or administrative issues, or anybody can direct them to the chief of police.
Yep.
Okay,
and handling complaints. And another thing, I mean, we have 14 police officers, and we get very few complaints. We have a great team working, and so that's another part that makes this transition. I've worked with all these guys and gals for many years, and so it's not somebody new coming in and trying to force something. And I know how they work, and I know what to expect, and they know what to expect from me. So
do you get the last say on the schedule? So do you work night shifts anymore?
I don't work night shifts anymore. I have been coming in at night just to work on this darn budget, but you know, but I could choose to if I wanted to, and I don't think I will. But you know, you never know. It's just kind of nice. I may come in at 4 o'clock in the morning someday, and just kind of get to know the town. When I'm stuck in the office so much, I was just out yesterday taking a cruise around the lake, and there was new construction popping up that I wasn't familiar with, and it's good to kind of, you know, keep your eye on what's going on out there too. All
right. Tim Eggebraaten is the new police chief here in Detroit Lakes. We're talking to him today at the Detroit Lakes Police Department. And you know, you said you kind of like to get to know people and stay in touch with the community. But I know one of the things that you do in your other life is you're a musician.
Yeah.
And now that how long have you been a musician? As long as you've been a police officer, or longer? Oh,
longer. I've been singing all my life, and then playing guitar for, I don't know, 25 years, I suppose, and doing the actual entertaining, going out and doing entertaining for about 8 years now.
Ever get any hot tips when you're out?
I don't, you know.
Do people realize that? Do they introduce you as now the chief of police?
Yeah, you know, I'm getting some of that, and I think it probably bothers my partners more because they hear it all the time, you know. And you know, before it was the singing police officer, the singing sergeant, and now, you know, the crooning chief, or I don't know what I'm going to be now, but the singing chief. But you know, everybody's got their own hobbies and stuff, and my hobby just happens to be very public and very out there, and that's uncomfortable for some people because police officers are traditionally a paramilitary type structure, and to have somebody that can gab and act like I do is uncomfortable for some people. And I think it's a good mix. It's a great outlet for me. I'm on pace to do about 70 gigs or 70 shows this year, and it's been incredible. So.
All right. Well, we'll be seeing you around, I'm sure, out and about, and behind the desk, pushing some paper.
Pushing pencils and singing songs. So.
What a great combination. Yeah. The new police chief for Detroit Lakes, Tim Eggebraaten, here today on Hometown Happenings. Thank you so much for visiting with me today.
Thank you, Carol.
And stay on the headlines, I have to say. For Hometown Happenings, I'm Carol McCarthy.